Hi guys, I hope you're all well. In this video I wanted to talk more about MS symptoms. With MS there are so many different symptoms. I think the most common symptom is numbness. You can get numbness in your legs, face, arms, anywhere. Also another symptom of MS is pain, bowel problems, tiredness, fatigue is one of the worst symptoms also that a lot of people complain about. For me, when I was first diagnosed, I started to feel a numbness on the top of my feet. It was only a small area and I didn't really think anything of it at the time. But about a week later it escalated quite quickly up to the top of my legs, up to my hip, and I had a lot of tingling and I just knew something was up. I went to the doctor about it, but at the time I was going on holiday in a couple of days, so she said she couldn't really do anything about it until I got back. So I went to Egypt and it was really hot. It was the summer and the temperatures were rising to about 45 degrees. As most of you will know, with MS the heat can make your MS symptoms a lot worse, and for me it did just this. It literally stiffened my entire legs, and I could barely walk. I was like crawling and I was so petrified at the time because I remember saying to my friend, you know, am I ever going to be able to walk again? That was my biggest fear. So when I got back I went straight back to the doctor. At that time I was at university and I remember it was exam time and I was really stressed out about that. Another thing that if you didn't know you had MS at the time, you wouldn't know that stress can make your symptoms a lot worse also. And then I remember my right arm went numb from the top of my arm down to my hand, and that caused problems obviously because my right arm is the arm I write with. So quite quickly after that my doctor said, you know, get you straight down the hospital for MRI scan. I had a lumbar puncture and my doctor did prepare me and say, you know, I think, you know, you will be diagnosed with MS, Zoe, and I didn't really know what it was at the time. I'd heard of it but always thought, oh, it's an old person's disease, and you know, I looked it up and I prepared myself for that diagnosis, and then lo and behold, a couple of weeks later I was diagnosed with MS, and I was just absolutely petrified. You know, some of the things you hear, you know, obviously you go on Google and you Google these things and the worst ever stories come up, and I really had like a meltdown for a few months, and then I was put on steroids to get rid of the relapse I was having. It went within a few weeks after those, and then a year later, I remember being stressed at work, and then I went like partially blind in my right eye. My vision was so blurry, and also there was a lot of like pain in my eye. I had like a shooting pain, and that was the scariest thing I think I've been through with MS so far. They call it optic neuritis. Just, you know, losing your sight is very, very scary. You know, I just wanted to just stay at home and just stay away from everybody. You know, it was very, very scary time for me. And then I haven't really had that many symptoms for a couple of years, touch wood. I tend to keep myself as stress-free as possible and as healthy as possible. For me, I soon quickly learnt that I started to have relapses at really stressful times of my life, and for me, my MS diagnosis was a horrific thing to happen, but it has really changed my life. You know, I feel like for the better now, to be honest with you, because I stopped my law degree and now I've got a good career in fitness. I help people get fit and help them change their lives around, and it's the most rewarding thing ever for me. So if any of you guys have got any stories, or you're worried about anything, or you just want to share what symptoms you have, just do get in contact with me. Do visit my Facebook page, Zoe Fitness and Nutrition, or just send me an email. It'd be great to hear from you guys. Thank you very much for watching.